Knowledge. This is from Wikipedia.
Savannah.
What's up, everybody?
Serena Van
who?
Vanderwoesten.
Okay.
Vanda.
So welcome to the next episode of Maverick Talks. We're going to be talking about something very interesting today. Disney's failures. And there are many, but the purpose of this conversation is that we feel that everything they've done wrong may have actually changed science fiction. I don't know if that's positive or negative, but
no, everybody want to do the goddamn
we're gonna figure it out
multiverse,
now.
So it's like, come on, man, relax.
Is that what it is? You know what?
I think it's the monotony. They're making it boring because it's like
They're calling it superhero fatigue.
it's not superhero fatigue.
I don't feel fatigued
It's
by
never
superheroes.
been superhero fatigue, and those who even those who are trying to be reasonable using that term, you're just perpetuating their narrative because it's not superhero fatigue.
You're using their language
You're using their language
to try and explain something that they don't even understand.
Yes, it's not fatigue. It's bad writing.
Right.
That's all it is. Because take a look at Deadpool being the highest grossing rated R movie of all time.
By
and
a
you know
great
what that
margin.
one was? A superhero movie. Look at Spider-Man. He made over $1 billion. All of the it's just that after Endgame, the quality of their storytelling dropped, and people were just like, "This is whack."
Bring up the image. Taping one asset PNG. Image one. So I was reading this article the other day. Who made this article? I can't even tell, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they said Avengers directors blame decline of Marvel Cinematic Universe's popularity on generational divide.
It looks like the dude's name is Lewis or Lois, and his name start with a CH.
Yeah, it's Lewis. Lewis, what the heck? Ugh. I'm about to zoom in on my phone. Let's see what happens. If it works. Yo, look at that. That's crazy. That camera is crazy.
Carlton?
Lewis, move, you stupid. Chilton.
I could do that too.
Well, your camera sucks. What you got, Apple?
Come on,
Okay, let's see.
Keep going.
I can't even see.
Keep going. Keep going. Why you stop right there?
If I could have went further. You're just struggling to get to the TV. Yeah, switch cameras. Go to regular photo.
This is regular photo.
Oh.
Well, listen here. This is not what we're talking about. We're not comparing phones with Android and iPhone, whatever.
They talk about a generational divide, right? And that just seems like euphemistic language. It's super confusing.
You know what it is?
It's a euphemism.
It's a way to defend the big corporation so that they can still have access to early access and stuff. So they blame. It's like they try to make an excuse when no one's to blame, right? When there is someone to blame,
right.
But they can't blame that someone because that someone has the power.
Right. You can't blame people with the power.
You can't blame.
We've learned
those
that in 2024.
But it seems like it's not like they're learning, or maybe they are. But blaming the fans, blaming the customers that spend their money for this content, isn't the route that you should take.
What's the saying? The customers always what?
Fuck that.
No, it's true. The customer's always right. We live in a free market society where customers decide what is bought and what is not bought. Okay?
Customer's not always right.
The customer's always right.
If I'm on break and you trying to take time away from me talking about, can you find someone to open up these things? I'm like, yo, my time is limited.
That's not what that means.
No, man.
That's not what that means. I'm explaining what that means. In a free market society,
came with
you
like
have
10
people
chicken
that shut up.
I came here for 10 chicken nuggets. If you give me 5 chicken nuggets,
I don't care about your chicken nuggets.
and you tell me, oh,
Do you care about his chicken nuggets?
I bought the chicken nuggets.
I'm trying to explain the chicken. We can go with chicken nuggets. Let's go with the chicken nuggets.
I bought 10-piece chicken nuggets,
Now I'm gonna go with the example.
and you
Yeah.
gave me 9, and the one was half eaten.
You're not coming back, right? You know what you're doing?
They gonna
You're going
blame
down
me.
the block to Wendy's.
They're gonna blame me and call me selfish. Talking about you don't understand. You don't understand the artistic vision that I put into the chicken nuggets.
Especially when I bit it.
Right, I bit it with emotion.
And then I tilted it.
Why didn't you feel the
That's
emotion?
art, right? But no sane company is gonna do that, because at the end of the day, the customer's always right. Meaning that we buy as customers the things that we feel we're getting the most value for the right price. We're not getting the most value for these movies. That's why people are not watching them. They're not saying to themselves, yeah, I'm willing to like spend $40, $20 on a ticket and then $20 on some movie theater, trash movie theater food to watch the frickin' Marvels. Nobody wanted to do that.
I don't understand why, because, at the end of the day, this is an invasion. Why these people, right, come into I'm not excluding women, but this area is male dominated.
It
right?
is.
We do accept, girls that want to see people kick ass, but for the most part, it's male dominated. They come in, they change all of this stuff, and then we give them criticism, right? We give them criticism. They can't take the criticism because they think, oh, they could just do whatever the heck they want. They call us out, so they're not even doing de-escalation tactics. That rises us up, and then there's a fraction that goes way up there, and then they single on that and saying these guys are toxic.
Majority.
Yeah, that's toxic. When we just saying, yo, why is this character who's never been in a fight before taking out aliens that are being trained by warlords and whatnot? How is she taking them out with a scarf? And she's never fought before.
Right.
And then they be like, oh, you just don't like to see powerful women!
You saw she was sliding around and doing all that.
She never even did that in her own show.
It was crazy.
She didn't even do that in her whole show. And in the moment
crazy.
they put in the movie, she is kicking ass so hard like she's been doing this for years.
She was like a super spy. But you know what it is? And I will say this on the record because, somebody's going to go on my Twitter and try and ream me.
You mean your ex?
My ex. So, listen. I used to believe that DEI...
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Was important. But you can look at any blog I've ever written. I stated how it could be done correctly. Because even back then I realized a lot of companies, Disney included, were not doing it right. You don't just shove something down people's throats because you want them to see it. There has to be a purpose for you putting a new character, like a new race or a new sexuality or any of those things into a story. It has to be a reason. Otherwise, you're just token dropping.
I saw a post. They said Disney was more diverse when they weren't trying to be.
Were they not though?
Like you had Lilo and Stitch, you had Brother Bear, right? You had Princess and the Frog, even though that was a white story, but they switched around the culture. They did their research on how black people act in the South. So it's like at least they did their homework. Mm-hmm. But now it's just put a black person in this, we're good.
Right.
Put a woman in it, we're good.
Do you remember Treasure Planet?
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever watched it.
A lot of people didn't watch it because it was overshadowed by other movies. It wasn't one of Disney's favorite projects, and they were doing that a lot at the time. But I love that movie. That's probably my favorite animated Disney movie, Treasure Planet. And it's because every character in that movie was genuine. There were some female characters that were absolute badasses. Like, you would fall in love with how amazing those characters were. There were male characters that were villains, and you hated their guts. There were other male characters that were, more gentle, but it didn't bother you. Every character had a purpose, and they added to the story in a way that made the story amazing. I think that Disney's lost track of that, and they're focusing so much on, we need to make a movie with a black person.
Yeah, they're focused more on the color and the gender
and sexuality
rather than the story itself.
Right. They're focusing on
if they make
the
a
minority.
if they make a good
hot
story,
topics.
if they make a good story, no one's gonna care that the
No.
lead is black or bi, gay, lesbian, or any other race. Nobody would care so long as the story is compelling.
No, they
That's
wouldn't
it.
care. But when we look at the Marvels, if you go to Image 2, right, and we look at the Marvels, you see there's these 3 characters that people don't know. These are not popular characters in comic
What you
books.
talking about, D?
Yes.
You talking about Monica Rambeau and Miss Marvel? So I'm gonna tell you something about Miss Marvel.
What?
Not Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel.
Right.
Okay.
Not Miss Marvel?
Not Miss Marvel. Not Captain Marvel, but Miss Marvel.
Oh, okay. Ms. Marvel.
So she used to be Miss Marvel. Then
Right,
she
right.
became Captain Marvel.
Right,
and
right.
then Carol Danvers came and became Captain. I was about to say
right.
Captain America. And then Miss Marvel came with Mr. Fantastic powers.
Right.
So it's like, I'm pretty sure people liked
But
Monica.
you know, in the movie, they didn't give her Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, no,
power.
they gave her Green Lantern powers.
Right.
But
just making that clear.
But Monica Rambeau, Miss Marvel, I'm pretty sure she was decently known and decently liked before they changed her around. Like she was originally black,
This
right?
character was loved.
This was the original, and they replaced her with Carol Danvers and made her Captain Marvel.
This character was not loved.
And you know, I'm pretty sure she was also, there was a scene where she was pregnant and she stepped out of the fight. It's like yeah, if I get kicked in the balls and I got superpowers, I'm done.
You said, I'm done. You win.
I'm throwing fireballs. You get one clean shot. Time out.
I'll be back.
I'll be back, but not right now.
You're right.
And so
I'll
she's
believe
over
it.
here. She's pregnant. She got her ankles messed up and all of this stuff. Her back is giving her issues. The hormones is out of nowhere. Yeah, this is not the right time to be doing superheroing, because if her emotions are out of whack due to the crazy, hormonal changes, and she's just saying she just killed someone because she just it's not her fault. She's pregnant. No. It's not her fault. It's the guy's fault for getting her pregnant.
Man, I don't know. I just think that
That was a whole lot of nonsense that I
that's
just
a lot.
spewed.
That was a lot. I'm just tired. I'm tired of them picking a minority group and then
Like I said in like
forcing that minority
What was
to
it?
be something that they don't have to be.
It was a few
just
streams
tell a
ago.
good story, man.
A few streams ago, I'm pretty sure I said that they use minority races as a sword and shield to, avoid criticism.
Check it out. You weren't there for that. I did a video on the podcast about Furiosa. A lot of heated comments saying I don't know what I'm talking about because I said the movie wasn't good, right?
It's just his opinion. Sorry, but this is America.
First of all, right, it's my opinion. But the reason I didn't like the movie is because the character was devoid of anything interesting. She didn't show emotion. Her story just didn't really make sense to me. It wasn't compelling. In the trailer, they talked about her spending her entire life to get back home. But the movie was a revenge story. So already the story didn't coincide with what my expectations were that they created.
They subverted your expectations.
I don't like that. I don't like when these companies do that. And with this Marvel's movie, if you put the trailer on,
Black Girl Magic!
what you're going to see is this Marvel's movie was about taking these characters that a lot of people did not know very well, at least in the MCU. Some of them
Well, let's go down the rundown, because we was talking about how they was just switching the names around, right?
Right.
So here we go. Captain Marvel, right? The first movie made $1 billion because people they were kind of tricked into watching the movie. They placed this movie smack dab between pretty much the two most important movies of the franchise.
Right.
So
it was a high point for MCU.
it was a really high point, and they thought that like she was like a super key, and that she would play like something. We needed to go watch this movie to understand Endgame.
What was going to happen next.
Right. So we go there.
That wasn't the case.
It had nothing to do with anything. There was nothing really. And then she didn't. Nobody liked her. Right. And I'm pretty sure they said Endgame would have her appearance in Endgame would dependent on how people liked her. Being that people didn't like her, she wasn't in Endgame often. So she went to fuck off to another planet. But if they liked her, she would have been in the movie more. Right. So someone who was pretty much forced into a position that she didn't earn. And then you have, who came next? Monica Rambeau.
Monica Rambeau's next.
She was a child in Captain Marvel.
Yes, she was.
But then the next time we saw her was in WandaVision. And she got her powers because she kept entering and exiting Wanda's torture chamber. And I guess the torture chamber must have affected her mind because she said to Wanda, they're never going to know what you sacrificed in your torture chamber when you were torturing them in your torture chamber. And said that, hey, they may hate you now because you tortured them in your torture chamber, but they will probably learn to forgive you for torturing them in their torture chamber because you sacrificed your imaginary children and lives by taking over them and forcing them to do things as you tortured them in your torture chamber. She was defending torture. Next! Miss Marvel.
Oh, man.
Next!
Right. What has she done?
Well, okay, to be fair.
No,
I'm gonna be fair.
no.
I'm gonna be
You
fair.
realize they dropped her out of thin air?
I'm gonna be fair.
Don't be fair.
I heard that this show was okay. It just wasn't for me. Like, the show was like a superhero show that appealed more to girls. All right.
That's fine.
That's cool. Let them have it. You know? I don't care. That's fine.
You know what actually makes that better? This actress genuinely loves the comics.
Yeah. Like, look.
She loves the comics. She really cares.
I don't understand why people try and make it so that if you don't like the character, you must hate the actress.
You don't.
One example would be Kelly Mary Tran from Star Wars. She played the Asian girl.
Yeah. I didn't like her character in Star Wars. I love her as an actress.
I don't know what else she's in actor-wise, but I loved her in The Croods. The Croods 2. Her voice acting, how she portrayed like this overly excited someone who never had a friend before. It was amazing. I liked
Tell
that.
that she was genuinely interested in the role.
And the people and it's weird because, they say that people was threatening her and all that stuff, and everybody I've seen, it's just like, we don't hate her. We hate her character.
Speak about that for Captain Marvel as well. Because when you watched, what was it? Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, heck, look. This is exactly why I have a soft spot for Brie Larson.
She's a great actress, man.
I have a soft spot for Brie Larson because Scott Pilgrim versus the World was a favorite of mine, and her acting in that movie was hilarious. Not to mention, she sang the hell out of Hello Again.
Matter of fact, we're playing Hello Again in the outro.
Okay. We're gonna remind everybody.
Remind everyone.
Yeah.
Playing Hello Again.
I play Animal Crossing with her. I got a soft spot for Brie Larson. I don't care what anybody says. I feel as if she was just trying to follow the trend of strong boss, and it's because what happened? She's starting to change around a little bit. I haven't heard a lot from her lately. It's like I feel like Hollywood was beating her up, and then the fans they weren't any better. Give her a break.
Well, I will say this, right? It seems like the actors and actresses that are entering into these roles genuinely care and they want to bring their best to the roles. I'm not going to say the acting was poor. I think that the acting in the Marvels was good. I just think the story was poor. And I think the direction was poor.
Miss Marvel, she's a mutant. They made her a mutant in the MCU. So, which means that the X-Men and all of that stuff, they already exist. Which makes it weird if they're going to introduce the X-Men with the multiverse. You could just say that the X-Men were out there. They would do a superheroing, but they were mostly stealth. They didn't want to be seen. They could have done that. It's like, we know that people hate us because of this, that, and the next. So the things that we do, we do it under the radar. So the Avengers wouldn't know about them. Nobody would know about them because they're just that good at keeping themselves a secret. But then maybe something happens where they would actually have to reveal themselves.
Like Batman. For the longest time, at least in the comics, and then also
You know,
in the films,
like,
Batman was a mystery.
You know how many secret organizations that the world don't know about that they put into the MCU with the Mandarin, with all of this other stuff, all of these
Hydra.
other things, Hydra. Right. They could just do that with the X-Men.
Right.
And instead of them being bad, they're good.
They were moving in the shadows. They were doing different things.
Yeah.
And they had to appear.
Exactly.
Let's look at this Marvel's trailer real quick.
But yeah, no, Miss Marvel. I had no issue with Miss Marvel. It wasn't for me, so I just stayed away from it. But
that's okay.
if people enjoyed Miss Marvel, okay.
That's okay. I just think the issue for me personally is that
The issue is when they all came together.
No, they're forcing a narrative that the majority of the fan base doesn't want to see.
Yeah, so you have.
And they're blaming the fan base for not liking it.
You have bubbly child that is very excitable and is having a bright future ahead of her. You got Superman if she was a Karen, and then you have someone who defends people torturing people in their torture chamber.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's you know, I like to sound repetitive to get people, you know, to get people to really think that, you know, hey, was it really a good choice to
Bring them together?
No, not even that, to defend torturing. Just like because there seemed to be a trend, right? Not just with her from WandaVision, but also in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, where Captain Falcon, he tried to justify the actions for terrorism.
I mean, Wanda justified her actions with the Doctor Strange movie. People were not against her in that movie. They were like, you have to understand her children and all this
What
other stuff.
children? They're imagining. Yo, what if? So when I was in elementary school, right? This ain't no Bing Bong type situation. I remember that motherfucker, right? I had an imaginary friend. His name was Ghosty or Ghosty, right? And when people ask me what does he look like, I always went like this. Right? So I'm guessing he was Asian.
That's crazy.
But so say I had to make a character change where I'd have to get rid of him. I'm not gonna kill anybody over him. I need to get my friend back, and you're standing in the way. You don't understand. He was my friend. He was the only one I ever had.
Think that guy didn't have friends?
Irrelevant.
Think that guy didn't have kids?
I had a friendship with this guy. I made this world for him.
Bro, she killed so many people.
They were just doing the job.
They were
Some of them were even just students. They were just like
fuck doing their job.
They were students training.
They were just upholding an ancient responsibility.
Hello, Sorcerer Supreme. How are you this lovely day? I can't wait to learn some spells.
Next snap. She OD'd, but people were defending her, and I think that is true.
Yeah, because they're like...
You know what it is? We were talking about this the other time. Marvel
empathy.
creates characters that are not likable, but then they try to force you to like this character.
No, they're making villains, and they're trying to make the villains
Should've said
reasonable.
villains.
Yeah, they're making...
Not every villain has to be reasonable.
Wanda in Multiverse of Madness was a villain.
And she was not reasonable.
She wasn't a grieving mother because she was never a mother.
Right.
She was playing house, and she flipped the freaking Monopoly table when she lost. The redheaded girl with all the freckles, she was a terrorist, killing innocent lives because inconvenience. What else?
It's the truth. Think about Batman. What was it? The Dark Knight Rises. Okay. The Joker in that movie, for most people, is a perfect embodiment of a villain, and that doesn't mean you have to make all your villains that way. But the reason he's perfect is because he's
enjoying. That's exactly why I liked Cassandra Nova.
He's right.
Like
he is who he is.
You can have villains that do things for a reason that you can understand, but if you do it too much, people could be like, okay, it becomes a cliche. And that's why the multiverse is a cliche. There's some people who just hate it and think it should never be done, but there are legit creative ways that you can use.
We did not need to see Thanos have all of the humanity that they gave him.
Look. Since we're talking about the multiverse, I'm going to use Bayonetta. In Bayonetta 3, they introduced the multiverse. And there's so many things that they could have done with Bayonetta 3. Like, you know, Bayonetta is like half Umbran Witch, half Lumen Sage, right? But she only focuses on the Umbran Witch part. Whereas the Lumen Sages, they're like the angelic version, right? They're fast. They're so fast that they can negate Umbran time or Witch time, right?
Right.
So in the multiverse, we could have had a Lumen Sage variant of Bayonetta. But you know what we got instead? We had Bayonetta. Then we had Chinese Bayonetta. Then we had American Bayonetta. We had French Bayonetta. We had Egyptian Bayonetta with a little tan.
I see what you're saying.
Why are they all just... they're pretty much the same Umbran Witch, just what if they were born
They're playing.
here?
They're playing musical chairs with nationalities.
Exactly. Now, they're doing this here, too. You got Spider-Man. You got Black Spider-Man.
You got white Spider-Man.
You got...
She's a woman.
You got Girl Spider-Man.
You got Spanish Spider-Man.
You got the Spanish Spider-Man. You
Indian
got...
Spider-Man.
You got Black and Pregnant Spider-Man.
Don't forget alt Black Spider-Man.
You got,
British Black.
You got... Yeah! You got...
British Black.
Obi Brand.
Right.
Great.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And then what do they tell us? Basically, all of these spider people have the exact same storyline.
Exactly.
Little changes here and there, but that there are certain events that all of them have to go through. Which means, what is the true difference in this their character?
Ethnicity.
There is nothing.
Yeah, and maybe some levels of power
They
scaling.
all have to make the same decisions.
I'm pretty
which means
sure-
they think the same.
I'm pretty sure the only person in because I don't know much about her, but Silk. I'm pretty sure she was like a unique spider person.
That's Gwen Stacy?
No,
No, Ghost Spider is Gwen Stacy.
She's like she's an Asian lady. Right?
Silk.
Her name was Silk. I'm pretty sure.
Is she the one in the giant robot?
No. I'm pretty sure the only power she had was the webs, and she made her suit out of webs. And then her spider sense messed with Peter Parker's spider sense, and it like made them very attracted to each other. So it's like if they're in the same vicinity, they just gotta smash. But I don't know.
I never heard of that one, but
Yeah, take a look at Silk.
I'll look that one up.
She looked cool anyways. Like she was like a ninja, right? She wore all white because her outfit was pretty much made out of the web she spun,
okay.
right? And she probably used the sticky from the
Did
webs.
she have like a red bandana?
I think so.
Okay, because she didn't have a full mask. She just had
No,
a
because you
bandana.
saw her
You could
eyes.
see her eyes.
You had to make sure. Like everybody needed to know that she
Yeah.
was Asian, so they had to really like, hey, look,
You know
my
what?
eyes.
I think I do recall that character, but again, it's rare. Miles Morales, cool, but at the end of the day, his storyline.
I mean, he's Spider-Man, except that he can go invisible, and he has electric powers.
Electric powers. Don't get me started on that guy.
Where's the Spider-Man that's venomous? Why can't we have a Spider-Man that's not just like a you could have, oh my goodness. You could have a Spider-Man based off of different versions of spiders.
Disney.
Like, why do
Are you paying
Why do I
attention?
have so many ideas?
Are you paying attention, Disney?
Like you can have one that's strong as hell but can't produce webs. You can have one that's venomous, where either they bite you or they got it in their claws. You can have another one that's really really fast.
But here's the thing, that would actually create true diversity.
I was just about to say that would make diversity.
That's diversity, not we have an Indian Spider-Man. We got the Asian Spider-Man.
You can keep their races being different. It's just that they're made after.
But they make the race the thing we're supposed to pay
like
attention to.
you could even say, all right, so we're gonna make an Asian Spider-Man. What we gotta do is we're gonna go to Asia, or we're gonna do some research on Asia, see what spiders are in Asia, and we take the ones that stick out the most.
How much time do we have left? But anyways, they make the race the focus of the character, and that moves into racism, right? Wacism. I didn't say race. I said wacism, right? Here's the issue with that. We have that mentioned everywhere. they make race such a huge focus that they can never really stop it from existing. There's no reason why in 2024 racism still exists.
It doesn't.
You go outside.
No.
You're not gonna find it.
Let me freshen it up, okay? There's still racists up in this world.
There are,
But they're not as prevalent as people want you to believe.
not nearly.
The racism is being perpetuated by constantly reminding us that it was a thing and it still is a thing.
You know what it is?
And what it does is, hold on now. What it does is it manufactures racism.
Right.
Because if you think that all white people are out to get you, you're going to start thinking that, and it's going to make you racist.
But you know what they're calling that now? Anti-racist.
It's not. It's,
Oh, I'm anti-racist.
It's just racism.
No, you're just racist against a different race.
yeah, it's just
It's just reverse racism.
It's just prejudice against a different race.
That's all it is. But they're creating that, and it's because the same people that are trying to say racism, they're saying
You gotta bring it back.
racism exists. They're the racists. They're the one that make
know what's
everything
funny?
about race.
My opinion on racism changed in college when I found out about that interview with Morgan Freeman.
I was about to mention that.
He said, "How do we get rid of
Stop talking
how
about
do we
it.
get rid of racism? Stop talking about it."
Just stop talking about it.
Yep, it'll die out because
Right.
the majority of people today in America aren't racist.
But to elaborate on it, not only stop talking about it, stop showcasing it in media.
Yep.
Stop making slave movies.
Yep.
Just stop
Stop making
all of this
racist
stuff.
movies.
We don't need the racist movies.
We don't
need to see white
no.
people on the screens screaming the N-word.
How many times you're going to reiterate the fact that this thing was bad in the past? Get
Right.
over it.
Right.
You did not
Let's
live
move forward.
It's the same.
There's no one alive that lived through that shit.
This is why I get annoyed when I see Native Americans flipping off Mount Rushmore. It's like that happened like 400 years ago. Relax.
There's a time to move on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, first of all, there was a huge generation where y'all didn't even care. Y'all were just reaping the benefits of owning casinos, owning land, all of this other stuff. And now something changed where you were just like, screw Christopher Columbus. It's like,
Yeah,
first
you know
of
what
all,
it was that changed? They started to
bring attention to it.
advertise.
Yeah, they brought attention to it. Hey, did you know that your guys were assaulted and murdered and all of these other bad words?
They changed everything.
It's like
They didn't have to. And
it'd be like, hey, you know what?
You know what they're
yeah,
doing?
now I am angry.
they're masking it behind being quote unquote aware. Oh, we're bringing awareness to these issues. Why? Is bringing awareness to these issues going to solve
And it's
a
not
problem?
exactly. It's like, okay?
I'm a problem solver.
All right,
I want
racism
you
is
to
bad.
solve problems.
Racism
if you
is
want
bad,
to solve
right?
racism, you stop perpetuating
No,
the
no,
things
no, no,
that
no. I don't want to
create
hear that. I
racism.
don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Nope.
No,
racism
they
is
say,
bad.
let's keep talking about it.
Racism is bad, and I want you to know racism is bad. So what are you going to do?
What are we going to do about it?
Racism.
What are you going to do about it?
It's bad.
So, okay. You go into an ice cream shop, right? You know the ice cream that you like and don't like. But let's say you want to try something new. You try it, you say, I don't like it. You're going to go back to the ice cream shop and keep trying that same ice cream?
What does this have to do with racism?
It's the same thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The bad ice cream that you don't like is the racism.
We're talking about...
Stop consuming it.
No. We're talking about the grievances and the pain dealt by the...
Are you going to make that ice cream that you don't like?
By the white man.
Yeah, are you going to make that ice cream that you don't like?
Why are we talking about ice cream?
I'm using an analogy here.
What is an analogy?
Are you going Exactly. It's like they don't know. Are you going to go into the store and order it?
Can you even spell that word?
Are you going to go home and make it? No, you don't like it. So if you don't like it, you're going to stay away from it. You're going to act like it doesn't exist. And because we live in a free market society, it's going to go away.
It's going to be forgotten.
It's going to just be forgotten. Look at social media, how quickly things come in and come out, okay? You can literally have a terrorist attack happened a week ago, and then a week later you completely forget about that shit.
And it's because
Kim K got something injected in her ass again.
And it's because the internet has, they made us have very
changed
short
our attention spans.
Yeah, our not I said short-term memory. Our attention spans are like
But it's not even social media. It was like that with TV too. The moment televisions really were introduced, they knew that they could program people to think what they needed them to think, to do what they needed them to do. That's why during holiday times, they're sending you advertisement after advertisement. Oh, come shop here. This is a free sale here.
Some people will just straight up deny the words that are coming out of your mouth and saying you need to take off your tinfoil hat.
Those people can go all the way to hell. Like, just go there and just bathe in the lava.
They're
the problem.
They are surfing in the longest river in the world. Because that's what they are.
You ever heard of a shit eater?
The joke was denial. But what the hell are you talking about?
Anyways, you ever heard of a shit eater?
No.
People that just consume shit. That's what I consider those people. You know it's garbage. You personally don't like it, but you still consume it because you want everyone else to consume it too.
And it's because, as a really smart man has stated, we are, what is it? We accept the reality of the world of which we are presented.
I don't.
I probably butchered it, right? So here's the thing. If you accept the reality by what people tell you, you're going to believe that. And if you want to stay in that world, anything that's going to change your worldview is dangerous. It's scary. So
I'd say scary.
So you push it away, or you attack it, you do whatever the heck to silence them.
It's fear.
But what that does is, it doesn't prove them wrong. That just proves that you're scared of what they might have to say. Mm-hmm. Right? Because if I tell you that, sorry to say this to you guys that actually believe this, but the planet is a spherical miracle, right? So if you're trying to shut me up and say, hey, actually, the Antarctica is a big-ass wall around the flat Earth, right? And you're trying to shut me up, cut me off and stuff like that, you scared that we might actually have a horizon. You're scared that, the sun and moon doesn't revolve around this sheet of paper.
You know why?
Because they don't want to listen. They don't want their minds changed. They just want to live where they feel comfortable. And they feel comfortable knowing or believing that the world is flat.
It's comfort, but it's also, if you are open to having your mind changed, and your mind is in fact changed, everything that you've believed up until that point is now false.
Yeah, and
it's like having to start over. Change is extremely uncomfortable for everyone.
It's in our nature.
No one thinks change is comfortable.
It's in our nature.
It's just a matter of being brave and stepping into something that you don't know. The unknown. Taking a leap of faith.
Unknown!
Right? But people don't do that leap of faith anymore because they're so just zoned in on creating the most comfortable space. The planet's not comfortable. You can walk outside and be hit by a car. You don't know when you're going to die. You don't know when you're going to get some shit like cancer. You don't know when any of these things are going to happen. You cannot create the most comfortable space in existence. You need to learn to live in the chaos. Learn to enjoy the beauties of life and learn to let go and move forward with the negatives. These people can't handle negatives. So they create crap like this. They create movies that we don't like because they just want to keep pushing that comfort or that feeling of comfort that really isn't comfortable.
They say life is a journey.
This is not a journey.
It's a cycle.
This is insanity because Marvel does the same thing over and over.
And then they get mad at us for getting bored of it.
Whole point of this episode is to talk about how this probably has changed sci-fi. I think the way that it's changed sci-fi, at least for me, is that I'm noticing in things that have nothing to do with Disney, like Prey, for example, that movie, they create these characters that are extremely unlikable. But you're supposed to like the character. In fact, if you don't like the character, everyone says there's something wrong with you. But it's okay not to like a character if the character sucks. If they're doing things that make you upset for no other reason than to just make you upset. You can't even connect the way they're thinking to their behaviors. It's just like they're in this perfect situation. Oh, I grew up in a beautiful suburban neighborhood, but I want to fight in wars. like what?
Growing up, everybody told me what to do, but now it's time that I do what I want to do. And I, with my background in give me a pointless. My background in art.
That's not pointless.
I'm going to build a super weapon. I'm gonna make a transformer with my degree in drawing lines. No one will stand in my way.
No, I'm a wealthy artist. I'm extremely wealthy. All of my art is in galleries, but all I do is just splash paint on some shit. And I just feel like, I'm not doing enough with my life. So now I want to start creating weapons,
Not just any weapons. Weapons of mass destruction.
I want to go to space. I want to
No,
go
no,
to space.
no. I want to see the Titanic.
I want to go to Titanic.
I want to see the Titanic.
Like, it's boredom, bro. These people get so bored, and I'm getting bored of things that Disney is producing. Because
I'd watch a movie about that submersible.
it better be a fucking comedy
Nah, man.
or a documentary.
It's a movie about
Well, that'd
them.
still be a comedy.
The movie would end with. Boom. They played a Titanic theme song.
Damn, you got the text coming down the screen.
Going down instead of up?
Yeah, going down.
Because it's sinking?
'Cause it's sinking.
Oh,
Got the
man.
bubbles coming up, little bubbles. Right. Bro, this shit's crazy.
But all jokes aside, you know what movie I would want to watch if it was real? A movie about Amelia Earhart.
Oh man, that'd be fantastic.
Like I would want to see a movie about her journey, her research, her training, and then because you know what happened to her was never really found out. The movie would end with her flying off into the horizon.
That'd be cool.
And it'd be just like
Or you could even do what recently we published a Yasuke book, right? The story of Yasuke, it has a lot of
You're not a samurai.
yo
You black. You're not a samurai.
bruh.
Take that off.
The story of Yasuke has a lot of history that's just unknown. So
They take liberties.
right, people take liberties, but I think that the issue is when they take liberties that just don't coincide with anything historically accurate for that time. Like, oh,
He must have been a badass.
like, bro, they just do shit that I don't understand.
Like
But when we
that
publish
recent
Yasuke-
movie that's coming out real soon, directed by Tyler Perry.
Are you serious?
What's it called? The 6 Triple Eights? You heard about that?
No, I don't want to know.
It's a movie about.
I don't want to know.
It's a movie about a almost all black, all female army division during World War II, I believe. Either World War I or World War II. And it's real. It's real, all right. It did take place. The 6 Triple Eights are indeed real.
Okay.
But they were like, what's it called? Couriers?
So they carried mail?
Yeah.
So we're watching a movie about male people?
No, they're showing, from what I've seen from the trailer, it seems as if they're going to be in battle.
Were they in battle in real life?
No, they were mail carriers.
Moving on.
So it's like, so they take liberties because they're like, okay, you see this history? I don't think it's good enough. Let's
You know what
make
they
it
did?
better.
They did that with the Woman King.
I was just about to mention that with the Woman
They
King.
did that with the Woman King.
Woman Kings were the Woman King was based off a tribe of bunch of bastards, and they did not make it far. They advocated for slavery. They wanted to keep it around.
They did.
And they got bodied.
Very hard. Very hard.
But no, they didn't want to. They didn't want
No,
to bring that.
they didn't wanna make
They
that.
wanted to make the bad guy the guy, the king, and they would have made the Woman King
The good guy.
the good guys, even though the Woman King was the ones that advocated to keep slavery around,
Right.
and the guys was like,
Like, yeah, we need to start changing. You know, the rest of the world is kind of
Stop
changing.
it.
We should probably catch up.
and they were like, no, we need slaves.
it's like,
And he's like, you know what?
okay.
No, you're grounded because they can't do nothing without our say so.
Right.
Whatever.
It's exactly like that. It's exactly like that. But, you know, RDJ, right?
Robert Downey
Bring up
Jr.
asset 5. No, 6. Asset
Seven.
6.
There's no seven.
6. This is what Disney's trying to do to save it all.
Bring back a loved one.
Right.
Someone who is held
A beloved actor who they know loves Marvel, who they know loves the comics probably.
What's weird is that I think someone said that he didn't want his legacy to be
Iron Man.
Iron Man. He wanted to be known as Robert Downey Jr., who's a good actor. But by doing this, you're not going to be seen as Robert Downey Jr. You're gonna be seen as the Marvel Man. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like if someone were to start calling you now Marvel Man, that's how you're going to
His
die.
identity is forever connected to the Marvel.
Because okay, so he's cool. He's not a bad guy.
He's a great actor.
right? No, person wise.
Oh, person, yes.
But after Endgame and his death as Tony Stark, he tried to do Dr. Dolittle.
That was a bit of a weird thing.
His movies, he's same thing with other, whatchamacallit, Marvel actors. When they tried to separate themselves from Marvel, it was weird and it wasn't successful. So in a way, if you become a Marvel actor, you're trapped. You are trapped.
It's the biggest Hollywood trap.
It's trapped, yeah.
In existence.
It might pay really well, but it's a trap.
You're gonna have to do
you're
it
gonna have
for
to
the
do
rest
that,
of life.
until you die.
Right.
Right?
You can't do anything else. The only person who I believe successfully has done other things, and maybe not even successfully, because you don't see it in the movie theater as much, you just see it on like streaming platforms.
Chris Hemsworth?
No, I wasn't even gonna say Chris Hemsworth, because people still look at him like Thor in his other movies. I was gonna say Samuel
Jackson, yeah. Because he was already a big.
He was established before.
Exactly. Most people see, if you want to be a Marvel actor, you might have to be known before you go in there.
Right.
Right.
Chris Evans, everyone is gonna just look at him as Captain America at this point. Everyone.
Nope.
It doesn't matter what role he jumps into. It's just not gonna.
Human Torch forever.
I mean,
bro,
they forgot.
He was.
People watching the movie did not realize that was gonna be the Human Torch because they forgot.
Remember the Fantastic Four movies?
Yes. Iconic.
His portrayal of Johnny Storm was hilarious.
It was.
How he played the immature dude. They said he. I heard somewhere they said him and Jessica Alba, they don't really seem like siblings, but the way they were acting, it was such sibling vibes. He was like, "Stop it! What? Gosh, what?"
He was the type to be like,
"Yo,
like run away."
I liked how every time, because Johnny knows how immature he is.
Yes.
He has fun with it.
Yes.
So he knows, that makes him smarter than people think.
He is very smart.
He makes a joke, and the moment he starts the build up to the punchline, he's always backing up because he knows damn well
you're about to.
You're gonna get punched in the face. So he always be like, "Listen,
Right,
and then
exactly.
He's gone.
Preparing for his escape.
Right. He has
He's
it all
like a
planned
Fox-like character.
He's all planned out. So I really liked his portrayal.
But the problem is that once he became Captain America, people remembered him that way. That's why in the Deadpool movie, a lot of people did not see that reveal coming.
You know why? Marvel is aimed towards children.
Yes.
People like us knew where he came from. Because that movie, Fantastic Four, that was like 20 years ago.
Well, I wouldn't say Marvel's aimed towards children.
No, yes it is.
MCU is MCU.
You know what I mean?
No, but I'm saying make the difference for the audience because the Marvel movies before the MCU movies, they were grittier. They were something that parents could enjoy as well.
Okay, yeah.
MCU not so much.
And especially downgraded with age after Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, 100%.
Because in the beginning, when they were still trying to find their footing, they was doing more like it was more universal, it was more realistic and stuff like that. Like in The Incredible Hulk, there wasn't that many jokes.
No.
No.
It wasn't a funny movie. There were funny scenes, but it wasn't.
It was funny scenes, but overall it was a tragedy.
Right.
Now, after Guardians of the Galaxy, it's not Guardians of the Galaxy's fault. It's not. Right? I like Guardians of the Galaxy. They had their own mood. They had their own overall
worked for the
feel.
team. They were quirky.
It worked for them because of their characters.
Exactly.
But then after that
put it in
movie's
Thor.
success, they just made everybody a jokester. And it's like,
right.
This first of all, this came out of nowhere.
Exactly.
Why
All the movies had to be
Why is Thor so serious?
But you know what it is?
so goofy.
Well, we have to wrap up soon, but you know what it is? It's because Marvel, they're thinking too much like a business instead of having some level of passion in what they're doing. So when they saw that the Guardians of the Galaxy was super successful, they said, got it. We have a formula now. We're just going to take this formula and just keep repeating it. Because every business wants to be repeatable.
But here's the thing, though.
But that's not what you do in movies.
What's so exciting about the Avengers? The Avengers is different heroes with different experiences, different feels, different moods coming together, and then the movie would be them bouncing off of each other from their experience. Hulk is serious. Star-Lord is goofy. Them coming together would be hilarious.
Right.
So if you could have made Thor a little bit more jokey as a coping mechanism for all of the stuff he'd been through, right? So he became a little more of the jokester. Then he comes with Hulk, who's mostly serious, buddy cop. Now is Hulk dealing with the antics of Thor. That could have been funny, but instead they were both immature children.
Because they're trying to stick with the formula. They don't want to change
boring.
the formula. The thing is, the Avengers, you're taking basically the best of whatever background that they come from, and you're putting them into a team. So every single person in the Avengers is a leader in their own right. And a badass in their own right.
In their own right.
That's not what the Guardians of the Galaxy was.
They were a team. They were a family.
They were family, but everyone came from different backgrounds for the most part.
But the story was about them coming together.
It wasn't about, oh, we're all the elite of the elites. No, it was more of
we're all
just
a bunch of misfits. We're all a bunch of misfits,
bunch of freaks
who
coming
lost
together.
their way, and we came together and we found each other, and now we're a family.
So it being comedic was
and we're better for
perfect.
it. Yeah,
right. Avengers didn't need to be a comedic movie. It's a different tone, but they're changing everything to fit the Guardians of the Galaxy because they saw that success and they want to repeat the formula. They did it with the Marvels as well. They added a lot of scenes in there to try and make it funny. But in actuality, the only character that had any form of humor was Kamala Khan.
Well, I wouldn't know. I didn't watch the movie.
I did. The only character, and in the comics, that has any form of humor is Kamala Khan. Right? Why did they have to make everyone else humorous?
You know,
why was Nick Fury humorous?
You know, that's weird. That was really weird.
That was very strange. And then the freaking cat.
Miss Marvel. Why is she a fan of Captain Marvel?
I don't know.
She's way too young to understand what she did, her heroics and all of this stuff.
She wasn't even born yet.
She was off planet for most of the part, so she didn't even do anything. I feel like it would have been better to introduce her in a Spider-Man movie and have her be like
she would be.
She could have been in the same school as Spider-Man.
She's a good support character for Spider-Man. She could have even been a main character, and Spider-Man was a support character for her own movie.
You can relax.
No, I'm dead serious.
No.
So she was that good.
So they could have been. She could have been. I'm not gonna say she could have been Mary Jane, but she could have been in the same school as Spider-Man, and they worked together like
sidekick.
Nick Fury could have been making a team of younger heroes. One could have had Spider-Man and Miss Marvel on it, along with some other people like Kate Bishop. And some of the other young ones, you know, not Ironheart. She can go rust under the water. She could go rust next to the Titanic. Tony Stark's daughter.
Oh man, everyone wanted that. Everyone wanted that, and they just didn't do it. It was like they set it up, but it never worked. But what I'm saying is, you know, you have a big name.
Wrong place.
You have a big name. It's always a good idea if you want a character that's not super well known. Make them a sidekick or support role.
Yes, that's how you do it. You have to introduce a character along. That's how they introduced Falcon.
Yes.
You introduce Falcon with Captain America, then you make a Falcon movie. Not a Captain America 4, a Falcon movie. Exactly. You introduce War Machine with Iron Man. Yes. I don't think he can have it. No. Yeah, he can have his own movie, right? He can have his own movie. Boom. That's how you do it. You know, get them.
That's a formula you can follow.
Get them introduced first instead of throwing them in our faces, and we just like, who the fuck is this? I'm not interested in this, and nobody watches it.
They still need to tell a good story.
Like Echo.
Nobody watched that.
Exactly.
I tried. I couldn't finish. They start a story, and then they're just like, or rather, what I'm trying to say is focus on good stories, but have a formula like that. Oh, we want to introduce a new character. Put them in partnership with an established character that's well liked.
Have that character build them up.
Right.
And then they could be on their feet.
Right.
Because at the moment they're still technically a baby. They need to be guided by their guardian, and then once they have their own pair of legs to stand on,
then they're good.
Boom.
But Marvel's saying no, we need to trick the audience.
No.
They try to trick us into coming to see these movies by showing trailers that have, you know, certain popular faces, only for us to go to the movie and not see them. Like Doctor Strange, he was not the main character of his movie.
I went to the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness to watch Doctor Strange.
You know what we ended up watching?
Not Wanda and America Chavez.
Right. They were trying to big up America Chavez.
Not to mention Not too
What?
much. America Chavez in the comic books was one of the most hated characters.
That's why they did it.
And they pushed her anyway.
That's why they did it.
They changed her and tried to make her better because she was a freaking demon in the goddamn comics.
Yeah.
Right? She praised, like, the way she said, "Oh my God," was pretty much praising lesbianism. Oh no, she said
Whatever.
she said some stupid shit like "holy menstrual cycle."
Okay, get the fuck.
And I was like, "Are you kidding
We're
me?"
ending.
He said, "Are you kidding me?" This was in the comics, and it's like, who wants to go to the comics and read that?
I don't.
So they brought her character, they forced her character into live action, and then made the movie about Doctor Strange all about her.
She was likable in the movie.
She was better in the movie.
It's just it wasn't.
Oh my God, the bees! Not the bees! Ah!
The movie wasn't really about her. Well, it wasn't supposed to be. That's what the trailer.
It was about so many things except Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. If anything, they made a joke of Doctor Strange quite a few times in that movie, and that wasn't cool, in my opinion. But this
if you
has
don't want to make a
concluded
movie
this
about
episode.
Doctor Strange, don't make a Doctor Strange story. If you want to make a movie about Wanda, you could have done that.
They could have,
Yeah.
but it's Disney. It's Disney.
There's female characters that you can use. Y'all just use the wrong ones,
You see
or
this?
if you use the right ones, you're fracking, you
Fracking.
you
No fracking.
write them so
No,
horribly.
look.
Black? What about black?
Black? What's that? What's that word? What's that word?
Publishing.
You
we
bastard.
We are the black publishers.
You bastard.
It's all about race.
You bastard.
We are both black Americans that
black-
are trying to build our company.
The black has nothing to do with race.
So why is it the first word in there?
Okay, the black is for mystery.
Why? Because we so mysterious? Because we're dark?
The black is because we go against the grain. Okay, the Maverick.
You know what we should have been called?
What?
Counterclockwise Maverick Comics.
You son of a son.
We
of a
don't
son
follow the same path everybody else follows. We go
You're lucky
counterclockwise.
I like your mom. You know, I'm limited with my insults. No. Anyways,
Yeah, that
Black
came out
Maverick
so
Publishing.
weird. Pause.
Good. Black Maverick Publishing.
You're lucky I like your mom.
If
I'll
you
smack the
think
crap out
that
of you.
Disney is messing up and you want to see Disney make certain changes, guess what? They probably won't, at least not for a long time. But we do. Because at the end of the day, we care about storytelling first. We love to introduce new types of people, but the story is what matters the most. So check out our books. We're gonna be making animations at some point down the line.
Yeah, and
but-
comics, because I know
comics too.
that I know that hundreds of pages worth of words aren't.
It isn't everyone's forte.
It's not. Yeah, it's not everyone's shtick.
So we're gonna be working on those things,
yeah.
but we need your support to make those things happen because you want good stories, and that's what we're trying to produce.
Yeah, I got ideas.
All
The
right.
only thing that I need to apply these ideas to properly entertain is the support of people who,
Actually want those things.
Yeah, actually cares about it.
Right.
You know, we're upcoming. You know, stop. I don't want to say stop giving these powerful companies your support, but also support the little guys that's also trying to
Right,
put a foothold in the entertainment industry.
right. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna keep doing what they're gonna do, regardless of what you think. And if you don't like it, they're gonna call you all number of different names. They're changing big sci-fi for the worst, in my opinion. We want to change little sci-fi. We want to make our own little community of people that still care about science fiction and just fiction as a whole. So go to blackmaverickcomics.com, check it out, support, and let us know in the comments the type of stories that you'd like to see us create. Anyways, this concludes this episode. Later.